broke the other day when I was talking to a grade 2 youngster who told me about having visitation with their mom, and she didn't show up. It was all I could do to hold back my tears. Hearing about a parent not showing up wasn't the first time I had heard a similar story. As much as we hear about dads not showing up for their kids, many mothers are doing the same. I want to give a shout out to the dads who do. What do you say to a 6, 10, or 14-year-old when a parent doesn't show up? What is this doing to our children? What can we do as parents to minimize the long-term effects on our children with a parent who rejects them? In my opinion, we need to build their self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth. Let them know that their mom or dad's actions are about the person they are. But how do we go about doing this? Grab your favorite beverage, find a comfy spot, and let's get into today's topic of building self-worth in our kids. This is Tips for Parenting Youngsters, where every episode brings you closer to building self-esteem and stronger, more meaningful relationships with your children. Subscribe to Tips for Parenting Youngsters for fresh insights and helpful strategies for positive parenting. Don't miss out on the tools you need to thrive as a parent. New episodes drop every Thursday. So first, how does rejection affect your children? Children with low self-esteem doubt their worth and struggle with anxiety, depression, or feelings of helplessness. They shy away from new experiences or avoid taking risks because they fear they won't succeed. Fear of succeeding leads to a cycle of negative thinking where they see themselves as unworthy of love and happiness. As they grow into adulthood, these patterns affect their relationships, career choices, and mental health. Building self-esteem in childhood is crucial because it lays the groundwork for a happy, fulfilling life, allowing your youngsters to recognize their value and navigate the world with confidence and self-assurance. When a parent consistently fails to provide emotional support, a child may feel unloved or unworthy. They often ask themselves, "Why am I not good enough?" Or, "What did I do wrong?" Even though the abandonment isn't the child's fault, they blame themselves because children tend to see the world as revolving around them. They think if their parent doesn't want to be with them, something must be wrong with them. These feelings develop into low self-esteem, where the child believes they aren't deserving of love, success, or happiness. Children who grow up feeling rejected or abandoned by a parent carry this emotional baggage into adulthood. As adults, they continue to struggle with feelings of self-doubt and insecurity. They have trouble forming close relationships because they fear being rejected again. Some become overly dependent on others for approval and validation, constantly seeking reassurance that they are worthy of love. Others push people away, afraid of getting too close because they've learned to expect disappointment or abandonment. This leads to issues with trust, intimacy, and healthy communication in relationships, as well as a general sense of anxiety and depression. A child with low self-esteem caused by a parent's rejection struggles with self-confidence because it's difficult to assert their needs in relationships and has a hard time accepting praise or success. These patterns limit their potential and affect their overall well-being. To help children break free from the emotional toll of rejection and avoid carrying these struggles into adulthood, it's crucial to focus on building their self-esteem early on, fostering a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on others' approval. Self-esteem is the foundation of how we see ourselves and interact with the world. It influences our confidence, decision-making, and overall well-being. When children have healthy self-esteem, they believe in their abilities and feel secure in their worth, which helps them face challenges and setbacks. They are likelier to take on new experiences, make friends, and pursue their passions without fear of failure or rejection. High self-esteem also helps our children develop a strong sense of identity and personal values, which guides them in making positive choices as they grow. Building self-esteem is essential, but equally important is nurturing self-confidence, which empowers children to believe in their abilities and take action with courage and determination. Self-confidence is the trust in our abilities and decisions. It helps our children to feel equipped to face challenges, explore new opportunities, and make choices. When kids possess confidence, they are more inclined to venture outside their comfort zones, chase their goals, and manage obstacles. Building self-confidence in your children when a parent rejects them or doesn't show up for a scheduled weekend is about helping them believe in their value despite the hurt they feel. One of the most important ways to boost their self-confidence is by celebrating their resilience and strength during challenging moments. When we acknowledge and validate our children for handling disappointment, even when they feel hurt, we teach them that their feelings are valid and that setbacks don't define their worth. Encouraging them to express their emotions and keep going despite the pain shows them that they are strong and capable, and this helps build their confidence. Another key to building self-confidence in these situations is empowering children to take control of what they can. Whether it's letting them choose an activity to help distract them or allowing them to express how they feel. These moments show them that their choices matter and that they have power over their own experiences. Helping them set small goals to move through tough feelings and praising their efforts when they do can rebuild trust in their own abilities. Most importantly, being a consistent, loving, and supportive presence helps children feel secure in knowing that they are valued no matter who does or doesn't show up. This teaches them to believe in themselves, even when others let them down. While building self-confidence is important, fostering self-worth goes even deeper, teaching children that their value is intrinsic and not determined by external circumstances or the actions of others. Self-worth is how much we believe we matter and have value in this world, that we have a place. It's the feeling we have about ourselves that we are treasured just for being who we are, not because of what we do, have, or what others think of us. When kids have self-worth, They feel good about themselves, even when they mess up and make mistakes, or when someone else doesn't treat them nicely. Self-worth helps our kids stay confident and strong, especially when they feel abandoned or rejected by a parent. As caregivers, we must let our kids know they are cherished because they exist. When a parent consistently doesn't show up for important events, like a hockey game, a gymnastics competition, or a scheduled visitation, it creates deep emotional scars for our child. Kids naturally look to their parents for validation and love. So when they experience repeated disappointment, shakes their sense of self-worth. They internalize the absence, questioning whether they deserve attention or love. During these times, it's crucial to step in and help your child understand that their mother or father's absence is not a reflection of who they are. To help your child grasp this, you can start by acknowledging their feelings. It's important to say, "I understand you're feeling sad, angry, or disappointed, and that's okay." Validating their emotions helps them feel seen and heard, which is essential in rebuilding their sense of self-worth. Then, it's vital to gently explain that the parent's absence is due to circumstances that have nothing to do with the child's value. You might say, sometimes adults make choices or face situations that stop them from being here, but that has nothing to do with you. You didn't do anything wrong. You are important and loved just as you are. This is where the deeper work begins, teaching our children that their worth is independent of anyone else's actions or approval. One way to do this is by reinforcing that their value comes from within. You can say, "What makes you special isn't whether someone is in the stands cheering for you or whether they show up every time. It's your kindness, your effort, your courage, and your uniqueness that makes you valuable." It's about shifting their focus from seeking external validation to building internal confidence and self-love. They can learn that while it's lovely to have support, it's not what defines them. You can also help your child focus on their strengths and achievements, especially when they felt proud of themselves. Encourage them to reflect on their progress in sports, school, or other activities and celebrate their efforts and resilience. For example, you can say, "Look how hard you've practiced and how far you've come." That's something to be proud of, and it's all because of your dedication. It's also essential to teach them about emotional boundaries, explaining that while it's natural to feel hurt when someone lets them down, it's important not to let that hurt define how they see themselves. You can help them recognize you are allowed to feel sad, but don't let it make you believe that you're less important. Your worth doesn't depend on whether someone else is there. It's something that you carry inside you. By fostering this understanding, you guide your children toward emotional resilience and independence. They learn that while other people's choices can affect them, those choices do not dictate their self-worth. This lesson helps them grow into confident, self-assured adults capable of setting healthy boundaries in relationships. They'll know they deserve love, respect, and kindness, regardless of whether someone else shows up or follows through. Teaching this lesson early gives them the emotional tools to face life's disappointments while holding on to their sense of value and self-love. Now that I've explored self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth, let's take a moment to summarize the key differences between these essential aspects of a child's sense of self. Self-esteem refers to how much we value and appreciate ourselves overall. It's shaped by our experiences, relationships, and how we believe others perceive us. High self-esteem means we have a favorable view of ourselves, while low self-esteem can make us feel inadequate or unworthy. Self-confidence is believing in our ability to succeed in specific tasks or situations. Your child may feel confident when playing sports or solving a math problem because they trust their skills in those areas. Self-confidence can vary from one area of life to another, depending on how capable we feel in each situation. Self-worth is a deep understanding that we are valuable simply because we exist. It's not dependent on achievements, skills, or opinions of others. While self-confidence may fluctuate and life experiences can influence self-esteem, self-worth remains constant. It's the inner belief that we deserve love, respect, and happiness, no matter what. It's equally important to recognize what not to say to your child, as certain words or phrases can unintentionally harm their emotional well-being. When a parent rejects their child, the way we respond can have a lasting impact on the child's emotional health and self-esteem. One of the most harmful things you can do is to downplay their pain or brush it off with phrases like, "It's no big deal," or "You're better off without them." While these statements may come from a desire to protect the child, they can make them feel like their emotions aren't valid, leaving them to process their hurt alone. Children need to know that it's okay to feel sad, confused, or angry when they experience rejection from a parent. It's also important to avoid blaming the child in any way, either directly or indirectly. Saying things like, "Maybe if you had behaved better, they'd show up," or "You must have done something to upset them," can deeply damage a child's sense of self-worth. Even subtle comments that suggest they could have done something differently place the responsibility for the parent's behavior on your child, which is unfair and harmful. Children need to hear that rejection is not their fault and that nothing they've done makes them unworthy of love or attention. Additionally, while it can be tempting to speak negatively about the absent parent, especially if you feel hurt or frustrated on your child's behalf, doing so can lead to more confusion and emotional distress. Your child may feel torn between loyalty to both parents or guilt for still wanting a relationship with the absent parent. Instead, focus on reassuring the child that they are loved and their value comes from within, not from whether someone else shows up. By listening to their feelings, validating their emotions, and offering unconditional support, you help them heal from the pain of rejection without adding to their emotional burden. My latest children's book, Lily's Journey to Forgiveness, Letting Go of Hurt and Anger, is a powerful tool for your children who are dealing with feelings of rejection, disappointment, or hurt, mainly when these emotions stem from someone important in their lives. Through Lily's experience of being teased by Jack and learning to forgive him, your children can see that holding on to anger and hurt only weighs them down. This book teaches that forgiveness isn't about forgetting or excusing the behavior, but rather about releasing negative feelings. In conclusion, navigating the emotional landscape of rejection and disappointment is always challenging for our children, especially from someone they love. As caregivers, we have the power to nurture their self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-worth, helping them understand that the action of others do not define their value. By acknowledging their feelings, reinforcing their inherent worth, and celebrating their strengths, we can empower them to build a strong sense of self-worth against life's challenges. Remember, it's essential to listen to your child's emotions without judgment. Validate their experiences and guide them toward recognizing their unique qualities and capabilities. As they learn to navigate their feelings of rejection, they can develop the inner strength needed to face future disappointments without losing sight of their self-worth. In times of hurt, be the lighthouse that guides them through the storm, just as Grandma Kate does for Lily and Lily's journey to forgiveness. By equipping our children with the tools to understand their value, we can help them flourish into confident, self-assured individuals, ready to embrace life's journey with courage and hope. Thank you, listeners, for embarking on this journey with me today. Your time and attention are precious, and I am genuinely grateful that you chose to spend them with the Tips for Parenting Youngsters podcast. Your support and engagement mean the world to me. Parenting is full of challenges, but remember, the most profound change starts within us. Be the role model your children look up to. They always watch and learn from us. Visit parentingyoungsters.com for a wealth of free practical resources. The website is designed to support you and your family in your everyday parenting challenges, from tips on self-discipline and positive affirmations to various other valuable topics. Also available at lessonsforlifewithgrandmakate.com are links to purchase my children's book in a series called Lessons for Life with Grandma Kate. Follow along as Lily, guided by her wise Grandma Kate, discovers her inner magic of self-esteem and self-confidence through creative activities and heartfelt lessons, empowering her to face life's challenges. There is always time to rewrite your family story, break free from patterns that no longer serve you, and create a home filled with love, understanding, and unwavering support. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. As I conclude this episode, I must state that this podcast is designed solely for educational and entertainment purposes. While I bring my experience as a parent and grandparent, it's essential that you know I am not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not a substitute for professional advice from a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. Got it? Awesome. Until next time, what is one thing you are grateful for?